Most SAP MM learners memorize the transaction code but fail in the interview when they asked a simple question. Explain the organization structure in SAP MM. And trust me, if your organization structure is wrong in the real project, procurement, inventory, valuation, even the invoices can fail completely. In this video, I will show you the complete SAP MM organization structure configuration step by step in S/4HANA, including the client, company code, plant, storage location, purchasing organization, and purchasing group, with all the real-time project logic. By the end of this class, you will be able to understand the backbone of SAP MM like a real consultant, not just a learner. Welcome back to the channel. If you are preparing for SAP MM jobs, implementation project, support roles, or SAP interviews, this video is one of the most important configuration classes that you are going to watch. Today we are going to cover SAP MM organizational structure, enterprise structure configuration, assignment process, real-time business example, important transaction code, common interview questions, and real project tips used in SAP S/4HANA. And one more bonus is there. We are going to see all of the tables that are related to the organization structure. This topic is extremely important because every procurement process in SAP MM depends on the organization structure. Without proper configuration, purchase order will fail, inventory posting will fail, valuation issues will be happening, cross-plant procurement will be breaking, and integration with FI, ST, PP, and EWM become unstable. So open your SAP system and follow along carefully, and let's configure SAP MM organization structure step by step like a real consultant.
So today basically we are going to understand the organization structure in SAP MM. So organization structure is the basic, or we can say this is the, let's say, based on which we are going to work in the SAP system. So organization data is nothing but it is the uh, let's say what kind of organizational units are there, how we can manage them in SAP, so that we are going to understand. So basically when this will be useful or when this will be needful, so whenever you are going to work in a implementation project, you need to know what are the different types of organization structures are there and how to implement them in the SAP, or how to gather the knowledge or requirement from the client so that you will be able to map those things, or you have to create those things in SAP. Okay. Now, if we first try to understand non-SAP organization structure, or we can take an example of a common organization structure, how it will be in non-SAP organization, or let's say how it will be there in the in general. Say you are working in a any kind of manufacturing company, distribution company, or how the organization structure will look like. So we are taking a example of a Tata group. Okay. So as we have discussed, what is, let's say, ERP? ERP means your enterprise. So enterprise means a group of company, or we can say this as a big company. Okay. Now here we are taking an example of Tata group. You can take example of any company in your mind. Now inside the Tata group, we can say there will be multiple companies, such as, let's say, Tata Steel will be there, Tata Motors will be there, TCS will be there, Tata Technologies will be there, Tata Power will be there, let's say Tata Hotels will be there. So these are, we can say, different line of business, we can say, right? We can say different line of business, or they do different kind of businesses. So we call them as a company. Okay. So first there will be a group of company, then based on their, let's say, what we can say, let's say based on their line of business, or we can say type of their business, we can differentiate them as a different companies, right? So this is what you normally hear in the in general, or in let's say everywhere you hear these terms, right? So Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata let's say consultancy, Tata Power, these kind of things will be there. Now, all of these company, so they do certain kind of, let's say they will do certain kind of activities they will be doing. What kind of activities? Let's say if a Tata Steel company, so Tata Steel company will manufacture the steel, they will manufacture the steel components. Let's say Tata Motors is there, they will manufacture the motor items, or car, they will manufacture car, or anything is there, they will manufacture that. Let's say TCS is there, what they are doing, they are providing services to the other companies. Okay, it is a service provider. Now let's say Tata Power is there, it will distribute the power to, let's say, industry, household, everyone, they will distribute the power. Now, for all of these company, there will be any location will be there from where these all activities will be happening. Let's say if you say about the Tata Steel, so Tata Steel will be having a manufacturing area, motors will be having a manufacturing area, power will be having a distribution area, and TCS will be having a delivery area, right? So these, all of these things we call them, let's say in general or in normal, let's say nomenclature, or in general we call them, let's say some, for Tata Power we call it as a distribution center, Tata Power distribution center, or you can say a office, right? So let's say there is a manufacturing plant is there for the Tata Steel, we call it as a manufacturing plant. Okay. Or let's say if there is TCS is there, so there will be a delivery center will be there. Right. So these kind of things are there in the non-SAP system. Now for every plant, let's say if you are calling that as a plant or distribution center, or let's say delivery center, so there may be certain materials need to be stored. So where you are going to store them, you can store them in stores. Okay, so there will be different kind of stores will be there inside the that manufacturing area or manufacturing location or distributing location. There will be certain stores will be there, right? So now let's say for every plant or for every location, there will be a purchasing department will be there who will be purchasing the items for that location. Let's say for the Tata Motors plant or for the Tata Steel plant, there are some materials will be needed. Who is going to purchase that one? Purchasing department will purchase that one. Okay. So this, depending on this one, let's say if that purchasing department will act for your location wise, or that purchasing department will work on the company wise, if you are, if it is going to work, so that we can define, or that we can decide based on the different type of organization, let's say organization type, we can decide that one. Okay, so able to understand this non-organization structure, or in general how the organizations will look like, able to understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically this is a non-SAP organization structure. You can just keep in your mind what kind of things are coming. Let's say if you say about the Reliance, let's say Reliance is having a Reliance Digital, right? So Reliance Digital is having multiple stores across the city. So that also you can say as a, there some activities will be happening, right? So those kind of things will be there, and there will be a store where the Reliance is storing their, let's say their these electronics items for the Reliance Digital, right? So that will be there. So now, now let's say understand this organization structure in SAP perspective. Okay. Now let's say we will understand the organization structure in SAP perspective. So how it will look like, or how we are going to configure that in the SAP. Now in SAP first we will be having a client. Okay, so in the last class when we tried to navigate on the SAP, so first when we tried to log in, so you see or you saw that there is first there is a client is there. In the client we are maintaining user ID and all we are going to maintain. So in the SAP, client is the top organization structure, okay, where we can maintain all of the data, like whatever data is required we can maintain it in the client or inside the client. So for every data will be client perspective. Let's say here we are saying client is 100, so whatever data I am going to create inside client 100 or for client 100, so everything will be, so that data will be only relevant for client 100. That same data you cannot find in client 200, 300 if you are saying. So in the other client you will be not finding those data. So
Sir,
any
hello, sir.
hmm,
Like a client, like main organization, like it's like
it's not an organization but it is a, we can say it is a system. Okay,
oh,
we can
okay,
say it is a system which will have all of the data, like whatever data is there, transactional data, your master data, your let's say organizational data, so every data will be there client specific. So if you are maintaining something in the client, then that data will be available only for this client or only in this client. If you want to
okay,
move that data or use that data in a separate client, so you have to move that configuration to the next one. Okay,
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
okay, okay. So now this is all about the client. So client will be having it's all, let's say user data, configuration data, organization data. So every data will be there for the client specific. So that is why it is a top organization structure in SAP. Okay. Now inside the client, what you can do, you can create a company. What is a company? Company is nothing but it is the group of company that we have seen here. So here let's say your Tata group is there. So similarly here we can create a company, that is a Tata group of company. But here company is not that much of important because company does not hold any kind of data. It is just for a information purpose. If you want to create it then it is fine, if you don't want to create it then also it is fine, because at this company level in SAP we don't hold or we don't maintain any data. It is only for a reference purpose that this belongs to, let's say there are multiple companies are there, so that belongs to this company. Okay, so now this is there. So company you can create or you can leave it. Now next one is company code. Now whatever things we have discussed here, Tata Steel company, Tata Motors company, or we can say line of business, we are going to say that as a company. So same company we call it as a company code in SAP. Okay, company code. So every company code will be having, let's say, set up its own data. So what is a company code? So company code is nothing but it is a set of GL accounts. Okay, this is basically company code holds all of the accounting data or all of the financial data. So if you want to have any financial related data or financial related information, where you are going to search? Based on the company code label. Okay, based on the company code label you can find the data or you can get the data from here. Okay, so basically what is a company code? Company code is a accounting, company code is having all of the accounting related information, and company code is nothing but it is the set of, we can say, GL account. Okay, mostly all of the GL account information will be stored inside the company code. Okay, able to understand? Let's say financial related informations. Okay,
Okay, okay, okay,
so that's why this company and company code is a part of your financial activity. So this will be created by the finance people. So this will not created by the purchasing side, or this will be not in the scope of MM side. Okay, so
Okay,
we are
okay.
just trying to understand the organization structure, but when it will come to the creation part, so this company and company code, it will be created by the finance people. Okay, now inside the company, here we are saying there is a manufacturing plant, there is a distribution center, there is a delivery center is there. So in SAP says all of the places where the activities are happening, that we can say as a plant. Okay, let's say distribution center is a plant, manufacturing center is a plant, let's say delivery center is a plant. So for SAP, any location where the activities are happening, actual activities are happening, that is called a plant. So let's say if you are saying TCS, where the TCS offices are there, so that is a plant. Okay, so everything is a plant. Now inside the plant, there will be storage locations will be there. So what we call as a store, that we call in the SAP side as a storage location. In the storage location, basically we are going to put the material, or we have to store the material. So whenever required, we can remove that one. So that is basically there. Now next one is, here we are having the purchase organization. So what we call as a purchasing department in general, we call them purchasing organization in SAP. So purchasing organization, we can have it at the plant level, we can have it as the company code level. Yeah. So basically we can have it at the plant level, or we can have it at the company code level. So that we will see it in a bit. Okay. So this is basically the organization structure. Able to understand, or any questions, any doubts on this? So now this is a very important question, and sometime this will be coming in the interview questions also. When you go to attend the interview, this will come in the interview. So let's say some people will ask, what is a SAP organization structure? Okay, so if someone is asking you about the SAP organization structure, so as we discussed, SAP organization structure will start with the client. Okay, client is the top organization structure, company code is the next lower organization structure, and plant is the next lower organization structure. If we say about the SAP organization structure, based on the data, we can maintain the hierarchy from higher to lower. So client will have all of the information, company code will be having the, let's say, finance related information, plant will be having the activity related information. Let's say whatever things, let's say manufacturing is going on, or let's say where the distribution is happening, what is the processes are running, what are the stocks are available. So everything we can get it under plant level information. So based on the data, we can say this as a organization structure. Let's say if someone is saying you what is the SAP or MM organization structure. If someone is asking you about the MM organization structure, here the top organization structure is purchasing organization. For us, for SAP MM side, purchasing organization is the top organization structure where we will be maintaining all of the data. Let's say whatever things you are creating, most of the data we will be maintaining with respect to purchasing organization. Then we can have a, just a second. So next is a plant. So similarly, plant we will be having certain data inside the plant we will be having. So next one is a plant, and last organization structure or least organization structure will be SLOC. Okay, we call it as a storage location or SLOC. So SLOC is basically in SAP MM, it will hold only the stock information. So what kind of stocks are there, how many stocks are there, what quantity of stock are there. So that information only we can get inside the plant. So that is why it is the least organization structure. Now, if someone is asking you what is a SAP organization structure and what is a SAP MM organization structure, you know the difference. Okay. So SAP organization structure means client, company code, plant. SAP MM organization structure means purchase organization, plant and storage location. Okay. So that is basically there. Able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next one, these definitions are there. I will be sharing these definitions with you. What is a client? What is a company? What is a company code? Plant, story, location, purchasing organization, purchasing group. So this purchasing group is also, it is a part of our organization, but it is not added to any organization structure. And purchasing group is nothing but it is a buyer. So it will be not linked to any organization. So we'll go to define company. So here company is a 6-digit code. Okay, company is a 6-digit code, and you can create a name and number. So basically we can go to new entries. Here let's say we'll create a company as OCT batch, we can say. So here you can maintain all the detailed information like the address, street, everything you have to maintain. When you are creating, you have to maintain that one. And then I'm just putting here country and language key and the currency what is required or important. I'm just putting this one. The rest of the things you just put that. Okay, so country I'm putting India. Language key here I'm taking English. Currency here I'm taking as INR. Okay, now just save this thing. Now our company is created as OCT BAT. Now let's go to this company code. If we go to the edit, copy, delete, check company code, here we can go inside this one. So first you can see copy, delete, check company code is there, then edit company code data is there. So if you go to the copy, delete, check company code, so first let's say double click on this one. Here you are having a copy option. So basically whenever we are creating a plant or whenever we are creating a company code, it is better to copy, or it is a standard procedure to copy from a existing standard company code or plant. Okay, why? Because this company code will be having a lot of GL accounts and chart of accounts will be there. So if you directly creating a new company code, so you have to maintain single everything you have to maintain. So that's why it is a best practice to copy that from a existing plant or existing company code. Now we'll click on copy option over here. The second option is for copy. Click on this one. Now here you can take a from company code which is existing. You have to take a to company code that you are going to create. So either you can check from the drop down what are the existing company codes are there. Basically here you can see this 0001 is the standard company code. You can copy from that. Okay, I'm just copying one company code that I have created last time. I'm just copying that. Okay, from EDOD I am creating company code. What we have taken, we have taken OCT1. This is what we are creating. Click on copy. Now it is asking copy only the GL account if you want to allocate the same chart of account to the target company code as the source company code. Do you want to copy the GL account? So we'll click on yes. Okay. So here it is saying controlling area. So we will click on yes. So now here it is saying the reference company code has a local currency as a INR. If you want to allocate a different local currency to target company code, so different GL account or different current currency are also be changed. So do you want to allocate a different local currency? So if you are copying from any other, let's say European country or American country, if you are taking, so then you can take a different local currency. Here we are using the Indian currency, so you can click on no also. Okay, if you want to change the currency, you can click on yes. If you don't want to change, you can click on no. Okay, click on no, then click on OK, click on continue. So if there is a, let's say, notification is coming that do you really want to transport the number ranges, then click on no. Number ranges, don't copy that one. Now here you can see there is a customizing request or there is a transport request number is there. We call this as a transport request. Okay, so you need to know this transport request. This is very important. Now let's say here we are working in a dummy system or a practice system. So here this system is not connected to any other system. But while you are going to work in a real-time environment, whenever you do any kind of configuration or you maintain any kind of changes, so that you have to move to another one system. Let's say quality system you have to move, or let's say production system have to move. So for that one, you need this transport request number. This transport request number will have all the information of the changes that you are performing. Okay. Now you can create a customizing request. How you can create? You can click on this create button, click on that. Now here you put a short description. Let's say here I am putting a short description as October batch. Let's say I am putting this one as a short description and I am keeping on save. Okay. So now this request number has been changed. So now just click on OK. Now see the tables are being copied. So now see company code EDUD copied to OCT1. Now if you click on OK. Now here let's say I will go to a new screen and I will show you the let's say the transport request if I show you that. Okay. So there is a T code called SC09 or SC10. Two T codes are there. So let's say we'll go to SC10. Here you can see this is the user, and here if you click on display, here you can see what kind of customizings are there. So now here you can see this is the request number and this is the description, October batch, organization structure configuration. If you click on this plus button, now here you can see there are subtask is there. Okay, here you can see this is the 788 is there, customizing task, and there will be a request attributes will be there. So now if you click on request attributes, here you can see this ATO transportation type and customer transport category. Okay, now let's say if you click on this customizing task, here you can see IMG activity, edit, copy, delete, check company code. So what we are doing, the information is there. Click on this. Now table content or customizing table content. If you go here, so here you can get actually the information on what kind of changes you have maintained. You can get the address information here, the table content. Here you can see T001, T00F, T00G, M. So these tables have been maintained already. Okay, so you can check the information. So this is just for your information. You are not going to check this one. So certain time you will be needing to check this one to check what other transports are there, what it is containing, so that information you can get it. Okay, so that will be there. So now our company code is created. Okay, now if we go back, now if you go to edit company code data, now here if you try to find OCT1, now see OCT1 is showing the name as the previous company code name where we have copied from. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to change the let's say details for this plant. So there you have to maintain. So now let's say if we go to let's say ED01, sorry, if you go to EDOD, let's say here you can see this is the same EdTech Odisha is showing. Okay, if you go to OCT1, this is also showing the same name. So you can select this one. You can click on details. Here you can see the company name. So let's say we will change to. So here we can change the company code name. Here if you want to change the city address or anything, if you want to change, you can change it. Okay. Now here there is a address button is there. Okay. Now you click on the address. Here you have to maintain the address. Let's say here we are maintaining company. Here this is the search term. Okay, based on which, let's say if you are going to search for the company code, you can search based on this. Okay, so these are the let's say street number or coordinates are there. You can maintain it. So this is a let's say dummy address number is there. So if you want to put that one, so you can put it over there, and here there is a language key is there, you have to mention that one. So now let's say here we'll click on OK, we will click on save now. Okay, so for every, like right now when you are practicing, you can take a single transport request number and you can use it for all of your configuration, that is fine. But while you are working in the real time system, so normally what you need for every configuration, each configuration you have to create a new request as per the requirement. So that we will see how to create a request or when to create a request or who will be creating the request, that we'll see later. But basically it is advisable, or normally what we do for each configuration, let's say you are creating two company codes also, you have to create two different customization, let's say request for that one, transport request for that one. So transport request for each individual changes, you have to create a different transport request. Okay, so that will be there. So now just save this one, the data is saved. Now if you go back, now our company code has been maintained. If we close this one, now here the financial accounting part is done. Now if we go to the logistics general, here you can see define valuation label, define plant, copy, delete and check plant. So now here if we go to the valuation label, now here you can see the valuation area is set at the plant level. So there is plant label is there and company code label is there. What is the difference? So let's say if you are selecting the valuation area at a company at a plant level, so your prices will be unique at the plant level. Let's say there are four plants are there. One is a Mumbai, one is a Chennai, one in a, let's say in Delhi one more plant is there. Okay, so in that case you can set the price, different price for different plants. Okay, let's say Delhi plant will be having a different price, Chennai plant will be having a different price, right? So based on that you can maintain. Let's say if you want to maintain the price same for across the company code, then you can take the valuation label at a company code level you can put. Okay, so that will be basically there. So here this is set already, so we cannot change. So basically the valuation area you can change only one time, okay? And you can select one time, and basically at the running of the business, when the business is running, you can change from the lower level to higher level, sorry, from the higher level to lower level, but not from the lower level to higher level. So lower level to higher level is not possible. Okay, means plant level to company code level is not possible. If you want to change from company code level to plant level, that is possible. Now let's say go back. Next one is here we can go to copy, delete, check plant. So here we will go inside this one. Now here you can go to copy, delete, check plant option. Here we will take again the same copy option. Here let's say from plant I am taking, let's say ED01 I am taking, to plant we are taking OC01. This is our plant. We are taking OC01. Copy this one. Copy. Number ranges you have to select no. Then this will copy the tables.
Sir, what is the reason we are not selecting the number ranges, copying the number ranges?
Number ranges will copy from the existing number range, means previous company code will be using some of the number ranges. If you copy that one, that will again copy. So we are taking a fresh number range. So that's why we are not copying the number
Oh,
ranges. Okay.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay. So now we click on OK. Now see the tables are being copied. Now you see the company code, your plant is copied. Okay, I have created one plant. You can create multiple plant. At least you have to create two plants. Okay, because we are going to see there will be stock transfer processes will be there. So you have to create at least two company codes, and for both of the company code, couple of plants you have to create, two plants you have to create. So you have to create two company codes and four plants that you have to create. Now we'll click on close. Now we'll go to define plant option. Now here if you go to, let's say OC01, here you have to go to OC01. Okay, so here you can see OC01 is there. So you go to the details same. Okay, here you have to change the plant name. So let's say here we are saying plant over batch. Okay, so here you can go to the same address. Here you can change whatever address is there. The rest of the things I am keeping same. You can maintain your address and everything you can maintain. Now just click on continue. So now just save this one. So now our plant is created. Now we'll go back. So similarly, you have to create multiple plants and you have to maintain multiple plants. Okay. Now we will go to the material management. Now we'll go to the material management. We'll expand this one. Now here you can see maintain storage location and maintain purchasing organization. Now if you go to maintain storage location, it will ask you to enter a work area or plant. So there we have to enter what is our plant name? OC01. OC01. Enter. Now for OC01, here you can see there are certain storage locations are already maintained. How this is maintained? Because we have copied from the let's say one existing plant we have copied. So that's why whatever let's say storage locations are assigned to that one, it is being copied to here. Now let's say if I don't need all of this, I can simply select all, click on select all. I can delete these entries. Okay. Let's say I will create new storage location. So first save this one. Go to new entries. Here let's say what I will say. Main I will select. Here I can take let's say RM0 raw material store I can take. I can take SF00. I can say semi-finished store. I can say FG00 I can take. I can say okay, I can take this one. Right. So now click on enter. Now you can save this one. Okay. Now if you want to add any address for the storage location for certain plants, let's say for certain businesses, they will maintain their storage location outside of their plant. Okay, in some cases. So if your storage location address is different than your plant address, then you can maintain the storage location address also. But in most of the cases, your storage locations will be inside your plants only, so you don't have to add an address. If you want to add an address, select the location, click on address for storage location. Here basically you go to new entries. Here you enter a number for the address. Let's say we are going to put a number, and here you have to put a address details over here. Okay. So whatever. I'm not maintaining this one. If you like, you can maintain. So that is the address number you can maintain. Okay. So I'm not saving this one. So it is there. Now here we are maintaining the storage location. While maintaining the storage location, directly we have added the plant details over there. So we don't have to assign the storage location to the plant. Directly it is assigned, because while creating, we are mentioning for which plant we are going to create the storage location. For others, there is no assignment is yet, it is not done. Okay. Then we will go to the maintain purchasing organization. Here we will go to new entries. Here we will take OC01, take a description. So this OC01, we are making this for the company code label. So why we are creating that we will see it in a later period. But right now you can see we are creating one purchasing organization for our company code, one purchasing organization. So let's say here we are going to create this OCT1 we are going to create. Okay. So OCT1 for the company code label, and OC01 we are going to create it for so plant purchasing organization October we are going to create. So now we'll just save this one. Okay, now these two things have been created. We'll go back. Now our definition part is completed. So in the definition we have created the company and company code. We have created the plant and storage location. We have created the, let's say, plant we have created, and we have created the storage location and purchasing organization. So our definition part is over. Okay. Now if we go to the assignment, the same nodes will be available. Here you can see financial accounting, logistics general, material management. So same nodes will be available. Now if you go to the financial accounting, here first option is assign company code to company. Okay. If I click on this one, now here what is our company code? Our company code is OCT1. This is what we have created, right? So now what is the company? Company we have created as OCT batch. So we'll select this one. Now just click on enter. So this is optional. Okay. So because we don't have anything in the company label, and there will be no information at the company level, so it is just optional. If you want to create a company or if you want to add that to a company code, so that is a optional thing. If you want to maintain, you can maintain, or you can leave it. Likewise also you
So
can
in
leave.
real time, how it is works in the sense, usually everyone creates a company or how it is?
No, mostly we will start with the company code. Okay.
Okay.
Because at company level there will be no information. It is just for an information purpose. Like if you are, let's say, having different companies will be there for different company code, then you can maintain, or else it is just a formality because there is no information at that level. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So so now we will go to the logistics general. Here assign plan to the company code. If you click on here, now you check what is the company code and plans are there. So if I go to, let's say, OCT1, there is nothing is assigned. So for OCT1, there is nothing is there. Now, but if you check for just a second. So here basically you can see this OC01 plant we have created, right? So this OC01 plant is assigned to EDOD. Why this is assigned? Because we have created the plant from one another plant which is assigned to this company code. So that's why here you can see this OC01 is assigned to EDOD. So here you have to delete this one. Now save this one. Now you can go to new entries. Here you have to enter the company code, that is OCT1. This one is the company code. Plant you have to take OC01. This one, click on enter, click on save. Okay. Now your company code and plant is assigned. So this thing you need to make sure if your plant is assigned to some other company code or not. If it is assigned, then you cannot assign a single plant to different company codes. One plant will be assigned to one company code only. Okay. And multiple plants can be assigned to one single company code. Means under a single company code there can be multiple plants, but one plant will be only assigned to one company code. Okay. So that you need to understand or remember. Okay. So for the plant, there will be one to one assignment will be there, one plant to one company code. And for company code, there will be one to many assignment will be there. For one company code, you can assign many plants you can assign. Okay. So that will be there. Now next one is we'll go to the material management. Here you can see there are different type of purchasing organizations are there. So here you can see purchasing organization to company code. So just hold on a second. Okay. So basically here, okay, let's minimize this one. Okay. So in the material management section, here you are having different kind of purchasing organization here. So here you can see assign purchasing organization to company code, assign purchasing organization to plant, assign standard purchasing organization to plant, assign purchasing organization to reference purchase organization. So basically what will happen for our purchasing, if you want to create a purchase order or any purchasing topics you want to configure or purchasing master data you have to maintain, for that one you need to have a purchasing organization assigned to a plant. This is most important. Okay. Unless you are having a purchasing organization assigned to your plant, you will not be able to create any purchasing documents or any kind of, let's say, uh, master data you want to maintain, you will not be able to maintain that one. So that is most important thing. Second thing, here we are assigning a purchasing organization to company code. Now if you assign any purchasing organization to the company code, that will help you, let's say, that will help you in maintaining the, let's say, if you are creating any kind of centralized contract, okay, so contract related to the company, if you want to maintain that one, then you have to create a company code label purchasing organization. Other than that, there is no requirement, or there is no requirement of company code label purchasing organization. Then if you are assigning a purchasing organization to company code, basically that will work for company code, and that is not responsible for the plant label. Now what you have to do, if you are assigning something to a company code label and you are assigning some purchasing organization to the plant label, now you have to assign these two purchasing organization, which is assigned to the company code and which is assigned to the plant, that you have to assign as a reference purchasing organization to each other, so that when you create a company code label, let's say central contract you are creating, and you are having a plant level purchasing organization, and you are combining or assigning them both. So when you create a contract against the company code purchasing organization, you will be able to create a contract with respect to your plant level purchasing organization. So that is a separate topic that we will see it in a later period. But for right now, you can see we can assign a purchasing organization to the company code, that will become a central purchasing organization, and we can create a purchasing organization to the plant that is relevant or required for us. Now there are two concepts of purchasing organization as a central purchasing organization. If you assign the purchase organization to the company code, that is normally a central purchasing organization. Now let's say if you are assigning the same purchase organization to all of your plant, okay, let's say any plant you are creating, you are assigning the same purchasing organization, so that will also considered as a central purchasing organization. Okay, so now let's say go to this purchasing organization to company code. Here we will try to find out our company code, that is OCT1. Here OCT1, we are going to assign OCT1, our OCT1 purchasing organization to the company code we are going to assign. Save it. Now saved, go back, assign purchasing organization to the plant. Here we can go to, let's say, OC01. Here see there is no OC01 is there. Okay, there is no OC01 is there, so everything is for OD01. Here you can see. Okay, so everything is for the OD01, you can see. So we'll go to new entries, purchase organization, we will take OC01, and plant we will take OC01. Now just save this thing. Now this is done. Okay, so this is done. So next one is standard purchase organization. We will see that in a later period. So standard purchasing organization will be needed for the special procurement that we have discussed about, the pipeline procurement, consignment procurement, subcontracting procurement. If you are using those kind of procurement, you need to have a standard purchasing organization. Now if you check the plant label, if you check the plant is OC01, here you can see for OC01, ED01 is maintained. Okay, so that we will see later. So we will try to change and check this on a later period. Okay, while we are going for a special procurement, at that point of time we'll see that one. Okay, what is the importance and why we are creating. So basically this completes your organization structure topic. Okay, so we have created the company code, we have created the company, we have created the plant, we have created storage location, we have created the purchasing organization. Then we have assigned the company code to plant, company code to company, then company code to plant, then we have assigned the plant to the purchasing organization, and we have assigned the company code to the purchase organization. So these are the configuration we have done.